I'm not going to ask you anything you can't answer. And if you can, like, you can answer it and I just won't put it in the interview.
Okay.
And I decided, you know, our BTS from Austin, I'm not going to release that until after the strike. Like, so
Right
we
time.
have time.
Yes.
So first of all, Meryl, congratulations. This was such a great first half of the season. I can't even tell you. And happy anniversary. So today is
It's the 9th, 9 years ago today we premiered season 1.
Wow. And doesn't it feel like, has time flown for you?
Yes. I mean, I think the only thing that's kind of marked time is I have kids now where I didn't have kids before, but you know, that way I'm like, oh, or maybe more gray hairs, but it is kind of hard to believe it's been 9 years. It feels like yesterday we just kind of
it feels like yesterday we were in Austin and already we're at the end of the season and so much has happened.
I know.
So the sword scene, is Caitríona Balfe Bonnie Wee swordsman? Like, can you confirm this?
She wields it pretty well, huh? I'm like, have you done this before?
Well, sort of like, I mean, it was one of the best cold opens in the history of your show. It was just like phenomenal. And like, she kind of terrified me a bit. I was like, if she picked up a blade near me, I'd be like, you're in charge now.
Somehow that sword disappeared. I wonder where it is.
I know. Can you break down that scene for us? Like, you know, what happened behind the scenes? Did you guys get it in one take? That's a joke.
Yeah. We don't get anything. We don't do any oneers anymore either.
Yeah.
That's an iconic scene from the book, and it's really a long scene, but I think we all, and you know, certainly when you're going through the script, you're like, okay, you know, we can only have so much light during the day to film, you know, what can be condensed. And certainly there were discussions early on, could cut that scene down a little bit, but we all decided, you know what, it was so iconic and it's such a powerful Jamie Claire scene. You know, I love that kind of where he's like, whatever his line is about her, you know, shrewish tongue, or love that dynamic between them, that she basically wants to kill him because he was almost killed. And you know, but that is the Jamie and Claire, you know, with the 9 lives of Jamie Fraser, the you know, the fact that no one can kill him yet. And I love that. And that's kind of quintessential Jamie Claire, quintessential Sam and Caitríona. So, and you know what, I think they always have fun doing those scenes too, where it's going to kind of, you know, the back and forth and, you know, will they, won't they, you know, will she, won't she kill him? And, you know, I love it. And it's a great opener and, you know, a great tag to obviously the season or the previous episode, wondering what would happen to him. So
it reminded me of when in season 3 they were he thought she was gonna die in the water and he goes, if you die now I'll kill you. And
I know Sam always, you know, I saw in an interview and he always, I don't think he loves that line, but I love that line because I think it's like you're so nervous and fearful about someone that you almost want to kill them. Do you know what I mean? It's I want you to stay alive so I can strangle you, basically.
Exactly. And I think they like nailed it on both. I mean, I sort of agree with Sam a little bit on season 3 because it's just so funny. He's like, you die now, I'll kill you. And it's like, wait a minute.
Blame Diana. Blame Diana.
I know. No, I'm not blaming Diana. Don't get me in trouble. So, you know, you had to fit in so much this season. And as a book reader, was there anything that you were sad did not make it in?
Obviously there's a Marsley Fergus storyline that we didn't use because, you know, Lauren, you know, had her other show and Cesar was busy, and we just kind of decided in previous seasons that we weren't using them as much as we could. And also there's a there's a Denzel storyline with a character named Dottie that we didn't fit in, and that I wish we would have, but it was such a big season and there was so much material to fit in that we just kind of realized that wasn't possible. So little things like that, but as a whole, I mean, I love this season. I just, you know, there's been so much positive feedback. I feel like everyone feels like since season 1, this has been one of our strongest, and I agree. I'm just loving the season, and I'm really excited for people to see the second half because it gets even crazier.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. So, you know, obviously because of the strike, they really can't talk about it. So maybe you can do a little hype for them. What was your favorite Sam scene for this first half of the season?
Oh God, what's my favorite Sam scene? I have several. I mean, certainly the opener where he is sitting in the corner, you know, and it's like an ode to one of those classic Westerns, you know, where he's gonna kill Lionel Brown is amazing. I love I really love just bringing it back to recent and this episode that's premiering this week. I love when he sees William across the enemy lines and he almost shoots him. I think to me that's such a, you know, all season, and Sam has done a tremendous job here. We've been playing this kind of fear of Jamie's of seeing his son across the field and not wanting to either kill him or see him killed or anything, and having that fear come true, and that kind of look of realization on Jamie / Sam's face, I think is so powerful. It's such a great season for him. He's done an amazing job, and I love that kind of, and even seeing him in Wilmington the first time he sees William, you know, he's talking to Brianna and that heartbreak, and he's got some great stuff in the back half too.
Okay, I can't wait. Yeah, I have to say he made me cry 4 times in the finale, like when I was watching it, and I was like, wow, like it's so understated and beautiful, and the way the two of them like complement each other is always phenomenal. So what was your favorite Caitríona scene? Mine was the sword scene, definitely.
Yeah, that one's really good. I also love I mean, I really do love the scene with Claire and Jamie. Is it the 3rd or 4th episode where she's seen Tom Christie? I mean, I love her stuff with Tom Christie. I mean, the scene with them both on the ship, but also at the tavern was so amazing. But also I love their love scene after that. You know, and I also love, oh God, she's had so many great ones too. I do love the sword scene. I love how she rips into Jamie, you know, and is kind of so angry because she was so scared. Caitríona always does that so well.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. And the Tom Christie stuff, where he kisses her is it's also peak comedy, like her reaction.
Your reaction is great.
Yeah, it's so great. So, you know, speaking of kind of, you said the love scene, I know that you couldn't fit some of the more iconic love scenes in this season. I saw people talking about the garden scene. And was that hard to translate to screen from the book, or was it just a question of timing?
It was a combo. I mean, one, we just didn't have kind of the setup that's described in the book was not the same that we had found. There wasn't really anywhere to do that. And just, you know, story-wise, it just didn't fit this time. And it's always hard. Listen, you know, we're not going to ignore the fact that we know obviously fans would want that scene and we would want to do it too. It's just sometimes hard to fit it in like that, both in our location, also with a story, because sometimes in the book, it works out better those times, like during when you're reading it during war, where Jamie's like, I have to have you, where Claire's like, I have to have you, and you're in the middle of like some battle sequence or on the cusp of doing that. And quite honestly, the translation on the screen is not as easy.
Yeah.
In terms of the writing of something like that, and for the actors also, their justification of it too as well, I think sometimes.
And it's interesting too, because in such a war-torn, stressful time, it sometimes would ring false if suddenly they're like, have this big grand love scene. So I think the way you guys actually approached that this season was really great. But I have to say, one of the great things about this show is how it portrays this love story and, you know, women in their 50s as sexual beings. So like it or not, you guys have created a bit of a monster with their relationship. You only have yourselves to blame. So in the second half of the season, is there some kind of is there some kind of good Jamie and Claire scene that you can tease that you know people will really love?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few iconic scenes that are coming up in the second half. If you're a book fan, that you'll kind of know and love. There's some tragedy, but there's also kind of lights at the end of the tunnel, and perhaps iconic scenes that are coming for Jamie and Claire that I think book fans are waiting for. They know what they are, wink wink. So they're coming, and also some things I think fans aren't going to be looking forward to, but still were essential to the book to do. And
oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Wink, wink. Did them,
and you did them. Did you do them a lot, or did you do a fade to black? I'm just wondering.
You'll have to just wait and see. I mean,
Oh, that was good. I
think
tried to get.
I think it's hopefully satisfying for the people who, love that and for the people who don't love that.
Okay. Oh, that's a good answer. I mean, kind of tricky there.
Lots of winks going on.
So, before the strike, what had you guys accomplished for season 8? Like, do you know what episode Caitríona will be directing? Have you broken down scripts?
We do know. I mean, she's going to be first up. She's not doing the first episode, but she's going to be first up because the only way we can pull off her directing is if she preps the first block, because and that's not to say she's doing one of the episodes in the first block, because sometimes we mix blocks around, but it's the only way she can prep, because the problem in the past, in terms of certainly actors directing it all, is they're in it so much. You really do have to have 5 weeks of prep for our director, and it's every day in the office, on location, prepping, etc. So it's really hard once we start shooting to have a full prep like that. So the only way we could do that is if she prepped leading up to our first block. So
okay. And did you break down of scripts yet? Like, has everyone read books 8 and 9?
Yeah, well, books, season 7 combines a dash of 6 and 7 and 8. So okay. Season 8 will be mostly book 9, maybe some other stuff thrown in. Okay. We were in the room. And so, certainly some of the season is broken. We don't have the end yet, though.
Okay. And Maril, to kind of sum it up, what can you tease a little more specifically for the next half of the season, or for the next season, whichever one you'd like, maybe a heard on set or anything? Oh, I mean, this is going to be a long Outlander, so I know.
By the way, did you know what my heard on set? What did you see the scene that my heard on set was? What if I'm feeling a little bit more? What if tonight I'm feeling a little more primal?
Oh my God! Wait, Roger?
Yeah, but do you know?
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I totally.
Yeah. In the air tonight, little Phil Collins. Wait, so give us another one. And see, I don't know if I have a heard on set see, you always do this to me. This is why I should have prepared more. I was like, I'll have to do a heard on set for back and send it to you.
Okay. We'll do that later. In fact, in the drought, I was thinking maybe we could do a little podcast episode, and we'll talk about all your projects.
I would love that. I mean, I honestly think the second half is crazier than the first. There's so many, there's no character that is not, we thought everything was thrown into turmoil the first season, but William, Jamie, Claire, John Bell, young Ian, everyone is going to have a real roller coaster in the second half and face kind of their worst fears. Okay. And I think that's what's so crazy. Like, yes, everyone faces their worst fears in the back half, and some come out of it okay, and some do not.
Someone dies?
No, I said some come out of it okay, and some do not. Take from that.
I hear what I want. It's like, scoop it for me. Okay, Maril, this was great. We'll talk again soon, because we do have a little time till the next block. And when we're not being timed here, and I'll give you time to prep and see.